The sibling gods sent their ghosts deeper into the underworld to face the evils that lay in wait, each hoping their own champions would be the first to claim victory. Our heroes' trials began.
Come on!
The horn blew and called forth the damned. The terrible curse delivered a blow to their, and Ondio approached. Hulking figures closed in. The ghost loosed an Onyo against their competitors. The stench of ash and death heralded the ghost became afflicted by a terrible curse. And Onyo descended upon them. The infant chill in the air warned that an Onyo drew near. Their ridings roused fire spirits. Horrors, wounded ghosts around. The ghosts set a terrible curse on their opponents. A ghost barely come to life. Hulking figures closed in.
Thank you.
Rival fire spirits targeted the infernal. The ghosts were forced to contend with a terrible curse.
This way! Come on! Help! Hurry!
shade stalled our heroes' advance. Our heroes found their offerings.
Time to disappear.
Ghost bells still drew breath. The heroes banded together for what would well be the end. The ghosts sent a shade to block their rivals.
It's nothing.
Horrors beyond imagining rose the rival band break to meet the Oni's last desperate assault. The ghosts started to stumble under anchors. The Oni fell to their blades like weeds before a sickle.
My arrows never miss.
A vile host erupted from the depths of the underworld. The ghost dispatched a horde of demons, but another took its place. Hulking figures our heroes called an elder shade to block their foes' offerings. But their counterparts laid waste to the hordes opposing them. The contest concluded in their favor. Their patron was pleased, and our heroes earned great reward. The deeds of the ghosts are many. Let me share one with you. I'll share any story with you. One of my favorites. The sibling gods sent their ghosts deeper into the underworld to face the evils that lay in. Great contest commenced. And Ondio approached. Demonic forces clawed their way out of the darkness. Rival fire spirit targeted the ghosts. The rivals suffered a terrible curse.
Enemy nearby.
The horn blew, called forth a dam, and Ondio descended upon them. The ghosts awoke and Ondio approached. Fearsome horrors materialized from nowhere.
They're vulnerable.
Their rivals roused a fire spirit.
They're vulnerable.
The infernal horde see their rivals' terrible curse afflicted the ghosts. Hulking figures closed in. The ghosts trusted a terrible. Their rivals placed a curse. Our heroes found their offerings blocked.
Let's go.
Demonic forces clawed their way out of the darkness. Their rivals endured. A horde of the fiercest Oni appeared, intent on trapping the ghosts in the underworld forever. Fearsome horrors materialized from nowhere. Time ran short as their competitive ghosts became afflicted by a terrible curse. Horrors beyond the imagining rose from the underworld. Their opponent made great strides in their battle against the Oni. The ghosts sent a shade to block their rivals. The stench of ash and death heralded the advance of Oni allies. On another hand, the rivals closed in to finish the last of their foes. At last, the final Oni
Thank you.
were vanquished. Relax. What legend would you like to hear? Amaterasu and Susanoo, gods of sun and storm, bid two bands of ghosts to compete as their proxies. Our heroes' trials began. The horn blew and called forth the dams. The ghosts roused and Onryo. Their rivals suffered, and their rivals' terrible curse afflicted the ghosts. Horrors beyond, and Onryo approached.
Enemy, we're in for a fight.
Ghosts sent a terrible curse on their opponents. The rival fires targeted the ghosts. The infernal horde, a terrible shade, began blocking their offerings.
Follow me.
And the ghosts found themselves hindered by a shade. The rival band, the ghosts started to stumble under a curse. Horrors beyond the imagining. Roll. Time ran. The ghosts loosed an Onryo against their competitors. A ghost barely clung to life. The deeds of the ghosts are which of these legends interest you? sibling gods sent their ghosts deeper into the underworld
Thank you.
to face the evils that lay in wait. Each hoping their own champions would be the first to claim the great contest commenced.
We're in for a fight.
The infernal horde seemed almost bound to their god power as the ghost endured a terrible curse. The ghosts awoke and only horrors beyond imagining rose from the underworld. Hulking figures closed in. Rival fire spirit target their rivals reeled before an elder shade. The deeds of the ghosts are many. Let me share one with you. What legend would you like to hear? Excellent choice. Sun Goddess Amaterasu and Storm Lord Susanoo devised a contest. Two bands of ghosts would battle the forces of the underworld and compete for glory in their names. The heroes sprang to test their mettle. The horn blew and called forth the damned. Their rivals roused a fire spills.
Into the shadows!
A terrible curse hit their rivals.
Swords come.
The rival bands cast a curse. A vile host erupted from their rivals endured a curse. And Onryo descended upon them.
Into the shadows!
The infernal horde seemed almost boundless. The ghosts started to stumble under a curse. The horn blew and called forth the damned.
This way! Come on! Let's go! Into the shadows!
Curse began to grate the ghosts with the stench of ash. Yet our heroes can. I have. What legend would you like to hear? Let's begin. The two gods of heaven found the enemy at their gate and called on the ghost to defend their stronghold. The ghosts launched into battle. Fierce horrors materialized from nowhere.
We're stronger together.
Onyo surprised our heroes in battle. The rivals suffered and curse dispatched. The ghosts pressed their advantage. The shade began plotting vile host. If their curse halted, the other ghosts found themselves hindered by a shade. The ghost curse harmed their rivals. Ghost trusted a terrible curse would give them our heroes. A horde of the fiercest Oni appeared, intent on trapping the ghosts in the underworld.
Stronger together.
The stench of ash and death heralded the advance of Oni allies. I have many legends for you to enjoy. Which of these legends interest you? Sibling gods sent their ghosts deeper into the underworld to face the evils that lay in wait, each hoping their own champions would be the first to claim. The heroes sprang to test their mettle. Horn blew and called forth the damned. Their rivals suffered a terrible curse. The rival fire spirit targeted the ghosts. The ghost unleashed an onyo on the rivals.
Into the shadows!
The infernal horde seemed almost boundless. Onyo descended upon them. The ghost awoke an Onyo. Fearsome horrors materialized from nowhere. Horn blew and called forth the damned. The curse began to break. The fire spirit rained destruction on their rivals. Fearsome horrors materialized from nowhere. A ghost with laughter from the heavens. The ghost delivered a curse. The ghosts were forced to contend with a terrible curse. The stench of ash and death heralded the advance of Oni allies. Their rivals roused a fire spirit.
My heroes never
Follow me!
The horn blew and called forth the deadly ghost summoned a shade. Undaunted, the ghost rose again to face the enemies before them. Fearsome horrors materialized from the shade of our hero. Time ran short as their competitors engaged in the last conflict.
Enemy nearby!
The Oni could not stand against them. The stench of ash and dead ghosts found themselves hindered by a shade. Hopes began to fade as their rivals gained the advantage. A Another wave of Oni crashed against the ghosts. Another fell. Demonic forces clawed their way out of the darkness. At last, the final Oni were vanquished. Relax for a moment. Listen to these tales. I'll share any story with you. The sibling gods sent their ghosts deep. The heroes sprang to test their mettle. The deeds of the ghosts are many. Let me share one with you. What legend would you like to hear? One of my favorites. The two gods of heaven found the enemy at their gate and called on the ghost to defend their stronghold. The heroes sprang to test their mettle. The stench of ash and death heralded the other. Listen while I'll share any story with you. A harrowing tale. Amaterasu and Susanoo, gods of sun and storm,
Thank you.
bid two bands of ghosts to compete as their proxies in divine contest. Our heroes' trials began. Horrors beyond the imagining rose from the underworld. Their rivals roused fire. Ghosts set a terrible curse on their opponents. Demonic forces clawed their way out of the darkness. Their god howled as the ghost endured a terrible curse. A rival fire spirit targeted the ghosts. Our heroes sent a curse across the veil. The ghosts were forced to horrors beyond the imagining. The ghosts started to stumble under a curse. Their rivals suffered a terrible. The heroes banded together for what could well be the end. The stench of ash and death heralded their shade stalled our heroes' advance. The ghost swept through their foes like a mighty tempest. The horn blew and called forth the damned. Ghosts cut through one army, only to turn and face hope began to fade.
I owe you.
As their rivals gained, a vile host erupted from the depths of the underworld.
Thank you. Thanks.
Cleansing the realm of Oni. Indeed, which of these legends interest you? The sibling gods sent their ghosts deeper into the underworld to face the evils that lay in wait. The ghosts launched into battle. The stench of ash and death heralded the advance of Oni Allah, their rival, and Onyo descended upon them. The ghosts became afflicted by a terrible curse. Horrors beyond imagining rose from the underworld. Hulking and Onyo approached. And Onyo surprised our heroes in battle. The horn blew and called forth the damned. Their rivals endured a curse. The terrible curse delivered a blow to their competitors. Their rivals roused a fire spirit. Ghosts were stricken with a curse. Hulking figures closed in.
Enemies there.
An elder shade heeded the call to thwart their rivals. A horde of their rivals' terrible curse afflicted the ghosts. The rival fire spirit targeted the ghosts. Fearsome horrors of champions of their rival god raised a cry against their luck. The Oni could not stand against them. Hulking figures closed in. Another wave of Oni crashed against the ghosts. Another fell.
My God!
The horn blew and called forth the damned. The great contest drew toward a close as their competitors cleared the field of Oni. The ghosts at last,
I owe you.
the final Oni were vanquished. Their right. I have many legends. I'll share any story with you. The two gods of heaven found the enemy at the gate and called on the ghost to defend their stronghold. Our hero's trials began.
There's a target. Enemy there. Enemies.
The horn blew and called forth the damned. The ghosts roused and Ondio. Their rivals roused a fire spirit.
My God.
The terrible curse delivered a blow to their competitors. The rival band put a terrible curse upon the ghosts. The ghosts started to stumble under a curse. Horrors beyond imagining rose from the underworld. The ghosts unleashed an ondio on their rivals. The ghost cast a terrible curse.
Come on.
Their god howled as the ghost in a curse descended upon the ghosts.
Follow me. This way. Follow me.
Relax for a moment. Listen to these tales. Which of these legends interest you? The two gods of heaven found the enemy at a gate and called on a ghost to defend their stronghold. Our hero's trials began.
Take this!
And all knew the stench of ash and death heralded the advance of Oni allies. The ghost set a terrible curse on their opponents. The ghost unleashed an onryo on their rivals.
Into the shadows!
Their rivals reeled before an elder shade. The infernal horde seemed almost boundless. An elder shade appeared. Their rivals roused a fire spirit. The shade moved to block their offerings. The ghost cast a terrible curse. A terrible curse hit their rival. The ghost curse harmed their rivals.
Feel my blade!
Their curse haunted the other team. A horde of the fiercest heralded the advance of Oni allies. Relax for a moment. Listen to these tales. What legend would you like to hear?
No. Yes. MJ look badass. That little nigga bad. What?
Sun goddess Amaterasu and Storm Lord Susanoo devised a contest. Two bands of ghosts would battle the forces of the underworld and compete for glory in their names.
Let's go.
Great contest commenced.
Yeah.
Listen while I recount an adventure of the ghosts. What legend would you like to hear? Which of these legends interest you?
nap time. I tapped that bitch, bro. Appear online, maybe. What the fuck? 9 persons?
Yeah, no,
Choose, and I'll tell it. Let's
What, yeah?
begin.
like farmer. Wait. Yeah, that's farmer.
What he at?
Where at?
Yeah.
I'm my industrial. I want a steak bite. I want my belly pierced, and I want my foothold. Foothold body.
What all you got right now?
I got my helix, my 3 holes on this, 2 holes on this, and my 2 double nose rings.
Facts.
Sun goddess Amaterasu and storm lord Susanoo devised a contest. 2 bands of ghosts
You say
would
what?
battle the forces of the underworld
You said we were about to be a
and compete for glory in their names. The great contest commenced.
This is what about this.
Demonic forces clawed their way out of the darkness. The ghosts were forced to contend with a terrible curse. Horrors beyond imagining rose from the underworld. Their rivals suffered a terrible curse. The ghosts started to stumble under a curse.
You might as well go get him.
Curse dispatched.
You don't think
The
she gonna bring him?
ghosts pressed their advantage. A chill in the air warned that an Onyo drew near. The infernal horde
What type of cookie you
seemed almost boundless.
Huh?
Our heroes sent a curse across the veil. The stench of ash and death heralded the advance of Oni allies. Their rivals roused a fire spirit. Curse began to grate on our heroes. Their rivals endured, and the ghosts sent a shade to block their rivals. The ghost curse harmed their rivals.
Yeah, do your project.
Undaunted,
Not bad.
the ghost rose again to face the enemies before them. Horrors beyond imagining rose from the underworld. The ghost swept through their foes like a mighty tempest. The stench of ash and death heralded the advance of Oni allies. Their rivals read the rival band put a terrible curse upon the ghosts. Demonic forces clawed their way out of the darkness. Having ably served them.
No way. No way.
They choose a harrowing tale.
That's crazy. I feel like I was born before you. I was born before you. I don't know. I gotta ask my mom. I'm not gonna ask my mom right now. Me finna tune on it. Tomorrow.
The sibling gods sent their ghosts deeper into the underworld to face the evils that lay in wait.
I'm
Each
gonna ask.
hoping their own champions would be the first. Great contest commenced.
Which was it?
The ghost cast a terrible curse. The stench of ash and death heralded the Ondio approached. Horrors beyond the imagining rose from the underworld. horn blew. Their rivals roused a fire spirit.
It's okay.
And Onryo descended upon them.
It's crazy. Like, I never met nobody who had to like
rock
sing
chill
like,
in the air
Nah,
warned
bro.
that an
That's really
Onryo
crazy.
drew near.
I was shocked.
Hulking figures closed in. Their rivals suffered a terrible.
Nah, I ain't gonna say that, but I thought I was the only fit nigga in the world. Bro, that's what I'm saying.
The horn blew.
All this,
Called
like,
rival
wait.
fire spirit. Targeted.
How, that's a rare, like, oh yeah, that's a random stupid ass date. Like, how?
Ghost summoned a horde of the fiercest Oni appeared. Intent on trapping the ghost compelled a shade to block their opponents. Hulking figures closed in. Their shade, the ghost swept through their
I'm not
foes like a mighty tempest.
Doing some cookies.
Demonic forces clawed their way out of the darkness.
I got a question. You think we ran better than
Their
Pablo?
shade threatened another wave of Oni crashed against the ghosts.
Big fact.
Another fell.
That's the only reason why you signed that.
If you need to replenish,
Horrors beyond the...
But y'all not better than us. Yeah,
Relax
I would've went to
for a
8.
moment.
I would've went to
Listen
8.
these tales.
I'm not game. I got literal evidence. Y'all didn't even win. Class got brass. We won. Class got brass.
I don't care.
Aha. Your school sits. 8. The beast from the east. And you put that shit on every day. And you wear it with pride too.
I'll share. Let's begin.
Well, yeah, I am tired.
You said you were tired.
I'm still tired.
I'm tired too.
I'm doing a lot. My dog. Why everybody going Muslim all of a sudden?
Cause you're going to jail. When you get out of jail, you turn Muslim.
everybody going Arabic and Muslim and stuff all of a sudden. Like, how the whole New Orleans want to be Muslim now? I mean Islam. Like, you haven't been noticing that?
No, I ain't been saying that.
No, and I tell you, like, half of my spam is Islam now.
The sibling gods sent their ghosts deeper into the underworld to face the evils that lay in wait, each hoping their own champions would be the first to claim victory.
I owe you.
Ghosts launched into
This
battle.
spam full of Islams.
Demonic forces clawed their way out of the darkness. Their god howled as the ghost endured a terrible curse. A vile host erupted from the depths of the underworld. The infernal horde seemed almost boundless. The ghosts were stricken with a curse. Fierce horrors materialized from nowhere. There are horrors beyond the imagining. The ghost cast a terrible curse. The horn blew and called forth the damned. A rival fire spirit targeted the ghosts. Horrors beyond the imagining rose from the underworld. The heroes banded together for what would well be the end. The stench of ash and death heralded the advance of only allies. Their rivals ready to face their final challenge. The ghosts, their rivals roused a fire spirit.
Thanks. This way.
Fearsome horrors materialized from nowhere. Hope began to fade. Another wave of Oni crashed against the ghosts.
Into the shadow.
Fell.
You're a true ally.
A vile host erupted from the depths of the
See what happened if you don't do it. You can't carry it.
The rival band neared the end of their battle. Would they reach it before they closed? Cleansing the realm for me. I have what legend? One of my favorites.
Let's come back. What you looking at, bro?
What I'm looking at?
Amaterasu and Susanoo, gods of sun and storm, bid two bands of ghosts to compete as their proxies in divine contest. The heroes sprang to test their mettle. The chill in the air warned that an hulking figures closed in.
I got a bad. Sorry.
Enemy, we're in for a fight.
Sorry, wrong.
Rival fire spirit targeted the
I might wake up too. I don't know. I might wake up.
The ghosts sent a terrible curse on their opponents.
Depending on how night goes.
Their rivals roused the fire spirits. The infernal horde seemed almost boundless.
That's some cookies.
Most barely clung to life. Their rival's terrible curse afflicted the ghosts.
Need help! Follow me!
Our heroes cast a curse. The ghost trusted a terrible curse would give them an edge.
Careful of the Oni!
A foe can't be beat.
Let's go!
Undaunted, the ghost rose again to face the enemies before
You're a
them.
true ally. Thank you.
You're a worthy ally. I owe you.
Fearsome on the shade stalled the rival band braced to meet the Onis. The Oni fell to their blades like weeds. I have choose, and I am an excellent choice.
What you watching? You said what? Michael Will. Michael Will. You said what you watching?
Amaterasu and
You watching some
Susanoo,
very rowdy shit.
gods of sun and storm, bid two bands of ghosts to compete as their proxies in divine contest.
Talk about some we are the generation are cooked.
The heroes sprang
They left.
to
That's the
test
same
their
nigga.
mettle. Listen, what choose. Let's begin. The two gods of heaven found the enemy at their gate and called on the ghost to defend their stronghold. Our hero's trials began.
Enemies nearby.
Fuck.
The chill in the air warned that an Onryo drew near.
My arrows never miss.
Then an elder shade arrived. Their rivals placed a curse on the ghosts. With laugh, a terrible curse hit their rivals.
They don't see us.
One of the ghosts was taken out of the battle.
That was too close.
Into the shadows.
An Onryo approached.
My arrows never miss.
Terrible curse delivered a blow to their competitor. Their god howled as the ghost endured. A horde of the fiercest Oni appeared, intent on trapping their curse halted. The ghost compelled a shade to block their opponents. And so they sent a demonic forces clawed their way out of the darkness.
Never miss.
Oni could not stand against them.
Bro, she was some brainwash shit.
Horrors beyond the imagining rose from the underworld. The ghosts cut through one army only to turn and face another.
Need some help. Over here.
The stench of ash and death. Their rivals ready to face their final challenge.
My arrows never miss.
At last, the final Oni were vanquished. The deeds of the ghosts. Which of excellent choice. Amaterasu and Susanoo gods of sun and storm, bid two bands of ghosts to compete as their proxies in divine contest. The great contest commenced. And Onyo surprised our hulking figures closed in. Their rivals roused the fire spirits.
All can't be beat.
The ghosts became afflicted by a terrible curse began to grate on our heroes. The ghosts trusted a terrible curse would give them an edge.
My arrows never miss.
A vile host erupted from the depths of the underworld. The ghosts placed a curse upon their opponents.
Let's go!
Our hero, the ghosts, prepared the final stand against the advancing demon army.
I owe you.
Thank you.
The horn blew and called forth the damned elder shade blocked the ghost's offerings. The champions of their rival god raised a cry against their last onslaught. The Oni fell to their blades like wheat before a sickle. Fearsome horrors materialized from nowhere. But their counterparts laid waste. Another wave of Oni crashed against the ghosts. Another fell. The infernal horde seemed almost boundless.
A bow can't
On another field, the rivals closed in, having ably served their people. The ghost won the contest, and
I
glory.
owe you.
Listen what choose, and a harrowing tale. sun goddess Amaterasu and storm lord Susanoo devised a... I have many legends for you. What legend? Let's begin. Amaterasu and Susanoo, gods of sun and storm, bid two bands of ghosts to
Hey,
compete
nigga, we
as
on the
their
mic. Already
proxies
texting.
in divine contest. The ghosts launched into battle.
Hold on, bro.
Fearsome horrors materialized from nowhere. Their rivals suffered a terrible curse. Their loud howling as the ghost endured a terrible curse. A curse this vile host erupted from the depths of the underworld.
Careful! Oni! Watch out! Oni!
Their rivals endured a curse.
Into the shadows. This way.
Their rivals reeled. The ghost compelled the shade to block their opponents. The ghosts inflicted a shade upon their competitors. An elder shade appeared. Time ran short as their competitors engaged in the last conflict. Undaunted, the ghost rose again to face the enemies before them. Hulking figures closed in. Hope began to fade as their rivals gained the advantage. The Oni could not stand against them. The horn blew and called forth the damned. The ghost sat on the verge of death. The great contest drew toward a close as their competitors. The ghost dispatched a horde of demons. But another took its place. Fearsome horrors materialized from nowhere. The ghost rivals proved more. Relax for a moment. Which of these excellent choice? The sibling gods sent their ghosts deeper into the underworld to face the evils that lay in wait, each hoping their own champions would be the first to claim victory. The great contest commenced. The ghosts were struck by a terrible curse. A vile ghost set a terrible curse on their opponents.
I feel like Lamar Jackson when I put the first down. You know what I'm saying?
And Ondio approached. The stench of ash and death heralded the advance of Oni allies. Demonic forces clawed their way out of the darkness. And Onyo surprised the heroes in battle. A vile host erupted from the depths of the underworld. Hulking, their rivals roused a fire spirit. Our heroes sent a curse. The ghost cast a terrible curse. The ghost started to stumble under a curse. Fearsome horrors materialized from nowhere. Hulking figures closed in. Our heroes' plans faltered before an enemy ghost's curse harmed their rivals. The ghost, their curse halted the other team. The heroes banded together
Running low, stock up.
for what could well be the end.
I'm gone.
Fearsome horrors materialized from nowhere. The ghost swept through their foes like a mighty champions of their ghost summoned a shade. A vile host erupted from the depths of the underworld. Their rival's terrible curse afflicted the ghosts. The ghosts cut through one army, only to turn, and our heroes found their offerings blocked. Hulking figures closed in. Their opponents made great strides in their battle against the Onryo. A chill in the air warned that an Onryo drew near. A curse dispatched, the ghosts pressed their advantage. The rival band neared the end of their battle, cleansing the realm. The ghosts completed the... Listen while I'll share one of my favorites.